evening, hello and welcome. You're with the news today. It's the day after India has counted and delivered a remarkable verdict. And it's that verdict that will be part of our special coverage today as we look at the aftermath. Kaun banega? Pradhan Mantri is almost done. Aisi banegi sarkar? Can Prime Minister Modi hold the NDA together? Will the allies instead be now keeping the BJP in check? That's going to be our top talking point. Also among our guests, one of the big winners yesterday, Shashi Tharoor, won a big battle there in Thiruvananthapuram. The four-time MP will be joining me tonight. But first, as always, it's time for the 9 headlines at 9. The decks are cleared for NDA 3.0. Allies TDP, JDU, Shiv Sena affirm support to a Modi government. Sources say NDA will stake claim on Friday, swearing in planned for Saturday. India bloc allies huddle in the national capital. Akhilesh Yadav, Sharad Pawar, Tejasvi Yadav attend. India bloc calls the verdict a mandate against the Modi government to save democracy. NDA allies play hardball before Modi 3.0 takes shape. Seeking plum portfolios, Telugu Desam demands Lok Sabha Speaker post. JDU demands 3 cabinet berths. Shinde also wants 3. Devendra Fadnavis offers to resign as Maharashtra's Deputy Chief Minister, takes responsibility for the BJP's poor show in the state. Chief Minister Shinde says the Mahayuti will review the defeat. There is no reason for him to resign. BJD's Naveen Patnaik resigns as the Chief Minister of Odisha after over 2 decades in power. He paves the way for the BJP to form the next government in the state. Markets bounce a day after rout on verdict day. Bulls roll back on Dalal Street. Investors become richer by 13.22 lakh crore rupees. World leaders congratulate Prime Minister Modi on a historic 3rd consecutive term. Joe Biden, Rishi Sunak, Emmanuel Macron, Giorgia Meloni send in their wishes. Setback for Arvind Kejriwal. Delhi court dismisses his interim bail plea. Delhi Chief Minister judicial custody extended to the 19th of June. Pune killer crash, minor accused juvenile remand extended to the 12th of June. Police confirm mother's blood samples were used to swap with the minors. But a day after India has delivered a remarkable verdict, it's now all eyes on government formation. The NDA has made the first move and is likely now to stake claim as early as Friday. That's right, Prime Minister Modi likely to stake claim on Friday, and the swearing in could take place on Saturday. This after NDA allies reaffirmed support to Prime Minister Modi. Telugu Desam, JDU, Shiv Sena all saying they will back Prime Minister Modi in his 3rd term. NDA 3.0 therefore likely to stake claim on Friday. Meanwhile, India allies the opposition huddling also together in the national capital at Congress leader Mallikarjun Kharge's residence. Kharge, after the meeting, saying the 2024 mandate he insisted has been against the Modi government.
The constituents of India bloc thank the people of India for the overwhelming support received by our allies. The people's mandate has given befitting reply to the BJP and their politics of hate, corruption and deprivation. This is a mandate in defense of the Constitution of India and against price rise, unemployment and crony capitalism, and also to save democracy. The India bloc will continue to fight against the fascist rule of the BJP led by Modi. We will take appropriate steps at the appropriate time to realize the people's desire not to be ruled by the BJP's government, and this is our decision, and we all together agreed on these points, and will definitely, whatever promises we have given to the people, that we will keep it up. And just I want to tell this. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's go straight across to our correspondents who are tracking that big meeting. Paulomi Saha has been at the NDA meet through the day. Maushmi Singh is just out of that India meet. First to you, Paulomi Saha. All decks cleared now for Prime Minister Modi, all the allies on board. Are we expecting the swearing in now as early as Saturday?
That's possible. We do await an official confirmation, Rajdeep, from Rashtrapati Bhavan on the swearing-in date. But we do know that at Rashtrapati Bhavan, the decks were cleared for swearing-in to take place anytime between today to June 9th. For when, in fact, they have closed off Rashtrapati Bhavan for the public. So it could happen on any of the two dates. We're hearing, of course, June 8th, but it's also likely that it's possible on June 9th. So over the weekend, we'll definitely have a new government in place. That will obviously be an NDA government led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now that the opposition, of course, has made it clear that it is not going to stake claim to form government, and the NDA definitely has the numbers. All of the constituents of the NDA have signed on the dotted line today. 21 participants in that meeting that took place at the 7 Lok Kalyan Marg residence of the Prime Minister. They've signed on the resolution. They've elected Prime Minister Narendra Modi as their leader. Okay, let's go from there to the India Alliance meeting. So while it appears that the NDA is fully now behind Prime Minister Modi and Modi 3.0 is almost certain, what was the mood that you saw at the India Alliance? Are they feeling so near yet so far, Maushmi, that, well, they gave a good fight, but at the end they were not good enough?
Right, Rajdeep. I think that the mood was very relaxed and calm, and they were considering that there were lots of dhol and nagaras and drum beats that welcomed all these leaders at the entry gate at Kharge's residence. And Kharge also seemed very relaxed, and it was a full house. The quorum was complete except for Uddhav Thackeray, who sent Sanjay Raut to represent him. All the other leaders were there. Abhishek Banerjee, of course, was there on behalf of the Trinamool Congress. But the big takeaway really was, that the suspense is over. They're not trying to stake claim to form the government. Apparent in Kharge's statement that at an appropriate time we will realize people's desire to be ruled by the BJP government. So that's the essence that they discussed and deliberated, that this is a mandate which is against the BJP and specifically against Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and we will have to act or pull the mat at the right time. So I think that the swearing in would happen, and perhaps the floor test could be actually as early as possible, or maybe later in the years, in the time to come, that the India Gathbandhan would actually, pull the mat.
Okay, so we'll wait and see. We've got the two alliances, and the big story, of course, coming in, Prime Minister Modi set to be sworn for a third time as Prime Minister, which brings me to my big talking point. Because remember, this is the first time since he became Chief Minister in Gujarat in 2001 and then Prime Minister of the country in 2014 that Narendra Modi will be leading a coalition government, or as they say, a Mili-Juli Sarkar. Now, there is a question mark that some critics raise. Can Prime Minister handle a coalition government? Will he be able to take all the allies along with him? Or will it once again be a one-man Ekla Chalo Re government? That will be difficult as Modi 3.0 prepares itself. But as we've seen in the past, Mr. Modi can surprise. Take a look at Mr. Modi as a potential leader of a coalition government.
Narendra Modi in his third term will be batting on a new pitch. From 2014, Modi has been heading an alliance government, but he had clear majority and was not dependent on his allies. With the BJP not clinching majority on its own, this time the Modi Sarkar will be an NDA Sarkar in its truest sense.
देशवासियों ने भाजपा पर, एनडीए पर पूर्ण विश्वास जताया है। आज की ये विजय दुनिया के सबसे बड़े लोकतंत्र की जीत है.
The BJP under the Modi Shah regime has had fragile ties with allies. Its oldest partner, the Shiromani Akali Dal, walked out of the NDA in 2020 after the central government pushed through farm reforms law. The Akalis claimed they were not consulted.
ये कोई कुर्बानी नहीं है, ये हमारा फर्ज है, हमारा असूल. हम श्रोमणी अकाली दल असूलों की पार्टी है और ये अपने असूल को कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं करती.
तो बादल साहब, अब आपने एनडीए गठबंधन से बिल्कुल अपना रिश्ता खत्म कर लिया. अब आगे आपको, क्योंकि बिल पास हो चुका है, इस बिल के खिलाफ किसानों के साथ किस तरीके से चलेंगे?
हमारी कोशिश होगी कि सबके साथ संपर्क किया जाए. ये लड़ाई इकट्ठे होकर लड़ सकते हैं.
The Shiv Sena, allies of the BJP since the 80s, quit the NDA in 2019 after accusing the BJP of not giving them the Maharashtra Chief Minister post as promised.
अमित भाई से जब मेरी बात हुई थी तो मैंने उनको यही कहा कि मैं एक ना एक दिन शिवसेना का मुख्यमंत्री बनाऊंगा. ये मेरा वचन मेरे पिताजी को मैंने दिया हुआ है. अगर आपके साथ आकर वो बन सकते तो आपके साथ, नहीं तो आपके बिना.
The BJP got its revenge when the Shiv Sena split. The rebels formed the government in Maharashtra along with the BJP in 2022. The AIADMK, which was part of the NDA, left in 2024 after state BJP leaders made offensive comments against Dravidian icons Periyar and Annadurai. Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar, whose support will be key to Modi, have also walked out of the NDA in the past. Prime Minister Modi, who has had a free run so far, will be handling allies who will be more demanding than in the past. Your report, India Today.
So let's raise the big questions. Will we see now a new Prime Minister Modi in his third avatar? Can Prime Minister Modi hold an NDA government together? Will the allies end up keeping the BJP in check? Has India given up now on government formation? Just some of the questions that I will raise. In the studio is Satya Prakash Mishra of the Janata Dal United. JB Mathur, Congress MP, joining me. Anam Venkata Ramana Reddy is TDP spokesperson. Syed Zafar Islam is former BJP MP and spokesperson. And A. Sarvanan of the DMK is also with us. So all the major formations that will have a key role to play in the next few weeks are with us. Appreciate all of you joining us, and let's come to you one by one. First, you, Syed Zafar Islam. Are you confident that Modi 3.0 will actually be able to run a coalition government? In 2014, you had 282 seats, then you had 303, so you could do what you wanted. You didn't have to worry about allies. Now, from 400 par, you could not cross 272. And therefore, you're going to have to work with people, including those who've been at times in and out of your coalition, like Nitish Kumar and Chandrababu Naidu. Possible or not? Will we see a new Modi?
Let me tell you a few things which is very important. First of all, I'm sure that you must have noticed in last 10 years, or you must have observed in last 10 years, we have NDA government. Of course, we had the majority, but we never left our partners in isolation. We took everyone along. So this is nothing new for us. We know how to respect our partners. We have always played and followed the coalition dharma, and we have never made anyone uncomfortable in our alliance, any of our alliance partners. So this is something we have been able to demonstrate in last 10 years. So it is nothing.
So may I stop you as always?
We are not
so may I stop you as always for a fact check? And I'll ask my producer to put up all the parties that have left you in the last 10 years. The Akali Dal, your oldest ally, left you. Shiv Sena.
Let me tell you.
No, 1 minute. Yes. Shiv Sena, the Uddhav Sena in particular now as it's called, left you. You've had the Janata Dal United coming in and out. The Telugu Desam left you, and on angry terms. You've had several allies leaving you, Mr. Zafar Islam. What kind of coalition dharma are you talking about?
Rajdeep, let me remind you, and you just made this statement that they left us. We never made anyone uncomfortable, and we never asked any of our alliance partner to leave. That's what I said. We have always followed the coalition dharma, respected every alliance partner, and we will always respect.
That's not what these allies said when they left you, sir.
And
that's not what these allies said when they left you. When they left you, they blamed the BJP.
No, so see that we have never made any such a statement, because we know exactly that for every alliance partner, sometimes they may have some constraints, and that must have been a reason for them to leave the alliance, but they have come back. That only suggests that we had no animosity between us. There must be some constraint at that point in time, but see, whether you talk about Chandrababu Naidu, whether you talk about Nitish Kumar, and what a statement they have made after leaving, and what a statement they have made after coming back, that they are going back to their family. This is what they had. They have been in the partnership for last 20 years, and this is what the place they belong to. So, except Akali Dal, with them we had relationship for over 20 years. But of course, for some reason they stayed away. But of course, we have always willing to welcome every alliance partner who have left us, because we want to play a role where we want to give comfort to everyone in an alliance, and also respect even people who have left our alliance partners.
Okay,
so let me tell you two things which is important for you and for your viewer. Let me just tell you two things which is important for the viewer. Because first, this government will last for 5 years, as it lasted for 10 years. This is important. As it lasted for 10 years, it is going to last for another 5 years. We will not face any hurdles of any sort. The way the Honorable Prime Minister was heading the government, he will continue to head the government. All the policies and the plan of 125 days.
What's your second point?
Thereafter will be followed as per plan. Nothing will change.
Okay.
Sorry?
You're saying nothing will change. You will follow.
What did you ask?
Yeah, okay. You made your point, Mr. Zafar Islam. You made your point. You're saying nothing will change. You will run this government for 5 years.
You asked the question.
Just a minute, sir. Now there are 4 other guests. Let's give them all a chance, and each of them will have to answer. I've got Satya Prakash Mishra, JDU leader, in the studio. Satya Prakash ji, ये बताइए. You tell me, do coalition dharma में आप विश्वास करते हो? You've led the JDU both in 2013 and then again in 2021 left this government.
You know, Rajdeep Sardesai ji, when NDA came into being, it was Nitish Kumar and George Fernandez party, Shamta party, that created NDA together with the, support of Vajpayee ji and Advani ji. It is the first secular party which created NDA. Now, sometime in coalition, the partners get disagreed or agreed on certain issues, but at the same point of time, partners supports the government as well. In the last, government, we walked over from the triple talaq bill. We didn't supported it. We walked over 370 even. Including in UPA, you are much more aware than me that when left parties left the UPA on nuclear bill, what happened, how they managed the vote. Even Mamata Banerjee was the part of the UPA. She left on certain, investment bill regarding foreign direct investment in retail sector, right? So in this time, when the nation is rising high, its aspirations are very high, and the government people voted for the 3rd consecutive term, it is the duty of the partner to remain with the NDA, and there is no iota of doubt that
for 5 years,
Kumar,
for 5 years. You are giving us a guarantee for 5 years,
guarantee.
Come what may, you will stay with this government.
102%, because
no demands.
NDA,
you are not demanding anything.
We don't demand anything. You are much more aware about Nitish Kumar's politics much more than me.
I am only aware of Nitish Kumar's politics, that Nitish Kumar is known as Paltu Ram.
No, not at all.
He is. That is, he has changed.
No, not at all.
How can you say that in the last 10 years, Nitish Kumar has shifted twice? He has attacked Mr. Modi every time he left.
Shifted, but not damaged the government. Never took out the support from the government. He was the railway minister when Vajpayee ji was the prime minister. That point of time, everybody was the partner of the NDA, and they supported the government even after Gujarat Roy.
You will recall you will recall, in 2019, you all chose not to be part of the government because you all were only being given apparently one ministership. Now will you demand more?
No.
Will you be part of the government or will you stay out? Will you have ministers in this government, yes or no?
Definitely we will be part of the NDA government.
You will be part of the government.
Definitely, like in BJP is part in the government of Bihar. So we will definitely be part of the government.
Okay.
But at the same point of time, Nitish Kumarji's politics never bargains anything. Whatever comes in the way, he accepts. He never blackmail anyone in the entire of his life.
Okay, he never blackmails, but he is known also to shift allegiances. But I'll take your word that for the next 5 years, he's not going to shift. You're saying from this government. Anam Venkata Ramana Reddy, TDP spokesperson. All eyes today were on Chandrababu Naidu. I met Mr. Naidu and he told me my credibility is at stake. I will fully support this government for now. For now. I want to understand from you, Mr. Anam Venkata Ramana Reddy, because Chandrababu Naidu has very good equations with the left, very good equations with Sharad Pawar. And here is a leader who has been very critical of Mr. Modi in the past. For the next 5 years, will he stay with Mr. Modi?
Rajdeep, let me be very clear. We have fought the election together. We will be together. We shall be together. We shall sail together. And Chandrababu Naidu will be backing NDA to the hilt. So no second thoughts of that. So let me be very, very clear. And there is a very good equation. CBN Garu was also in the NDA. He was, I think, the NDA convener at one stage.
That's right.
And we have the same equal relationship with Modi ji. So we are looking more at the development of our state.
With due regards, Chandrababu Naidu ji had once called Mr. Modi a terrorist in 2018.
Rajdeep, see Rajdeep, there comes a time when we have to grow up, keep bygones be bygones, look ahead to the development of the state. So let's not just go back and keep thinking of what we said, what they said. So at some time in politics, maybe here and there, you do, I mean, in any family it happens, okay? In any family,
and you will put
there
no
will be
demands?
a couple of
And
misunderstandings.
no demands? You are not demanding the speaker's post?
See,
No demands?
we don't need to. Rajdeep, there is no need to demand. We are alliance partners with NDA. We have fought together. So see, what comes naturally will come. No, see, I am not
No, is
sure
it true
what,
that you are not demanding the
course,
finance ministry? Is it true you are demanding the
it's
finance
all-
ministry, rural development, Jal Shakti?
Well, thank God you didn't say the Prime Minister's post. You might have added that also. See, it doesn't work.
That was good one.
Okay.
See, Rajdeep, just go ahead and then say some Tom, Dick and Harry says something and then you say we are demanding. See,
Okay.
it's up to CBN to decide. I don't know.
Okay.
So what I don't know, you will not know. So
Okay.
there's nothing of that sort as of now. Okay.
Okay, we found a good spokesperson in the Telugu Desam, the kind of spirited spokespersons that we like. JB Mathur, you know, the fact is here you're seeing very clearly both the TDP and the JDU, the two key allies of this government, 30 seats between the two, which can decide, make or break this government, are both saying, we are with Mr. Modi. So it seems that the Congress's hope that you could fish in troubled waters is not going to work.
Rajdeep, let me honestly put forward a question.
Yes.
Have we heard the term NDA for the past 5 years or 10 years? Forget NDA. Have we heard BJP even other than Modi, Modi ki guarantee, Modi ki government, Modi? And secondly, around 15 ministers have lost in the election. And out of that 15 ministers, we don't even know them other than 3 or 4. So even the ministers of BJP government from BJP party itself didn't have space there. The corridors, the windows, the doors of the parliament all says, "Do log chalate hai," the government. So that is the one scenario of NDA. Secondly, you look at India Alliance. When you look at India Alliance, look at the way the alliance is taken care of. Look at every statement made by Mallikarjun Kharge ji in the beginning. In the beginning, he said today, we fought together, we fought well, we fought resolutely. And in the end of the press conference, what did Mallikarjun Kharge ji? We will take appropriate steps at the appropriate time. There's always an element of plurality, compassion.
One minute. What does appropriate? What does appropriate steps? JB Mathur. Clarify that. What does appropriate steps at appropriate time mean? Means you are still hopeful. Here is the NDA ally saying we are not leaving Prime Minister Modi. Are you telling me that appropriate steps at appropriate time You don't have the numbers. The reality is you don't have the numbers to bring down this government.
Rajdeep, we are discussing whether that option is there. The country is discussing. There are many people who are hopeful. That itself shows that it's not a straight case. So, okay, I admit, I concede that yes, now the letters have been given. They have the numbers as of now. So it's about now. Politics can't be forever. The politics of tomorrow may be different. And today's resolution passed by the NDA, what did they say? They just named Narendra Modi. That's it. They have not talked about the portfolio sharing or the cabinet berth, nothing. Let the thing materialize. Let's see how the authoritarian, dictatorial trends and traits in Narendra Modi, will it vanish?
Okay.
Do you think it will vanish? It will certainly not vanish.
So you're saying, we will come to the traits of Mr. Modi in a moment, but A. Saravanan, DMK spokesperson, I'll tell you what the buzz is in Mumbai in the stock markets, because they are buzzing all the time. Their belief is that two leaders are being possibly looked at as potential future NDA allies. One is Uddhav Thackeray in Maharashtra, and the other is the DMK. That the DMK is keen after so many years of being out of power, last 10 years. You used to be regulars in the government at the center. You want once again the key to Delhi. Is that true or not? Is there any possibility of joining hands with Mr. Modi?
See, it is our leader, Mr. M.K. Stalin, in 2019 proposed that all the parties, opposition parties, should come together and ensure the ouster of Mr. Modi. And we were able to achieve that in 2024. If you think Mr. Modi has got a popular mandate, no. He is forming the government, that's all. He has lost the mandate of the people.
No, how is he lost? No, I am unable to. Sir, you can argue that clearly he's been diminished. You can say the Prime Minister has been downsized. But how has he lost the mandate?
Yeah, he has lost the mandate because he's not able to get the majority of the seats, 272 mark, which he said he will get. And when you don't get that, when you already had that, when you don't get that, it is axiomatic that you have lost the mandate.
No, but he went into the election as an NDA. He went into an election as the NDA.
Yeah, see, the thing is this. You may use semantics, you may say that this is that, but the writing is on the wall. Everybody knows what it is. That is one thing. And the most important aspect is this. We are the ideological opponents of the BJP. Come what may, we will never ever allow BJP. We will never ever be in the company of the BJP. See, this is one thing. The most other important thing is the BJP is in a catch-22 situation. You were asking one question to everybody, whether how long will this government survive? Nobody knows. Probably 6 months or a year, because you have to look at.
I'll
qualify. I'll qualify that statement. Allow me. I'll qualify that statement. I'm telling you why. Because the spokesperson here says there won't be any change. The way they have conducted the government in the last 10 years, in the next 5 years, it's not going to happen. And Mr. Chandrababu Naidu and Mr. Nitish Kumar will not allow that. And what does Mr. Chandrababu Naidu stand for? Mr. Chandrababu Naidu stands for the states' rights. Mr. Chandrababu Naidu stands for Muslim reservation. And what does Mr. Nitish Kumar stand for? Mr. Nitish Kumar stands for caste survey. Mr. Nitish Kumar stands for breaching the 50% reservation quota. Will the BJP is going to do all this?
Okay, you are making making points. You are questioning whether the BJP will adjust to this new reality. Therefore, Zafar Islam, the question, you're saying nothing will change. No, 1 minute. You're saying nothing will change, Zafar Islam. Some things will change. Let's be very clear. You will now have to take people along. The general impression, according to the opposition, is that Prime Minister Modi has been dictatorial. That this government was hum do, hamare do. Two people ran the government, according to J.B. Mathur. Will any of that change? If tomorrow you want to bring in one nation, one election, you can't do that because you need to take people along. Uniform Civil Code, you need to take people along. Will Mr. Modi now be more consensual and less, according to the opposition, dictatorial?
First of all, Rajdeep, all these parties, all the India alliance partners put together, they have not breached even Bharatiya Janata Party, number of seats Bharatiya Janata Party has alone got. So when they criticize the government, they should introspect about themselves, how many seats they have got. Away from that, let me tell you, when I say nothing will change, what I meant, the way the government has run smoothly for 5 years, lived up to expectation of the people of this great country, have worked for the nation, prioritized nation as first policy, nation first policy, and that will continue. No political party other than some of the India Alliance partner, even some of them within the India Alliance partner will have
when decisions like demonetization were taken in
India first policy.
When decisions like demonetization were taken in 2016,
listen,
the charge was
complete.
nobody was consulted. Will consultation take over now from taking unilateral decisions?
Rajdeep, you may make this kind of a statement based on getting information from certain quarter which is absolutely baseless. Every decision which is being taken by the government, always we take everyone along, all the alliance partners along. It is absurd to make this kind of statement that we have not consulted, we have not informed. Everyone was informed, everyone has been taken along, and we will continue to take along everyone, because I said we always follow the coalition dharma and we respect all our alliance partners. All this statement is coming from whom? People who have lost. They have not been mandated by the people to serve them. That's why they are making this statement. All the speculation they had, that have been put to bed by whom?
JB Mathur, okay. Syed Zafar Islam is saying
we will run the government, we'll follow all the economic policy and all the policy which was to be followed.
Okay, he is saying BJP is committed to a coalition dharma. This is speculation that this is dictatorial government. We will take everyone along. You don't have any right to tell us we have had more seats than all the opposition parties put together.
Yeah.
It's bright as a day that the dictatorial trends is very clear and evident for every Indian. That's a fact. And moreover, now the scene is going to be that Narendra Modi, the king, will be without the crown. It's going to be that now, okay, with no numbers on their own, definitely TDP and JDU is definitely going to have a big say, and that they are going to be definitely demanding for sure. And with the kind of nature Mr. Modi has been used to, he won't be able to take it.
Why do you believe Mr. Modi will be the same? He could change. He changes with the times.
Rajdeep.
He's a clever politician. He will change, Mr. Saravanan. Mr. Saravanan, why do you believe he will change?
Yeah, I'm coming to that.
What we should not get.
He has not changed.
One by one. Mr. Saravanan, why? You see, Mr. Modi knows now he's in a coalition government. He'll live and let live. If you see today, the person sitting next to him was Chandrababu Naidu. Amit Shah was not sitting next to him. Amit Shah was at a corner. It was Chandrababu Naidu sitting next to him.
Yes, Rajdeep, if Mr. Modi changes, we'll be the happiest person. India will prosper. Instead of speaking Hindu, Muslim, we will definitely achieve some progress. But what will happen to the core vote base of the BJP? They have been thriving only on hatred. That is why I said it is a catch-22 situation for the BJP. And you were asking one more question. Is TDP requesting finance ministry? Is Nitish Kumar requesting home ministry? I am saying the BJP should have offered Mr. Chandrababu Naidu or Nitish Kumar the Prime Minister's post.
Why should they offer? Please, the BJP is the single largest party. I am told, in fact, the opposition wanted to offer them that. Let's not divert the issue. Why should Chandrababu Naidu with 16 MPs or Nitish Kumar with 15 become Prime Minister of the country? But Mr. Venkat Ramana Reddy, what if the government, for example, wants to bring in single nation, single election, one nation, one election? Will you support it? During the campaign, Chandrababu Naidu spoke out in support of Muslim reservations. The BJP is dead against it. Will you at least have a common minimum program?
See, it's too early to talk about all that. See, not even the swearing in ceremony itself isn't over, and all these will be discussed in the course of time. The India Alliance is so desperate to prove that NDA will not work. In fact, today I was watching them when they're giving their photograph in the evening. And, they were so obsessed with who was going to be in the front row, who was behind. I think it took them 5-6 minutes to put them in order. And these people come and talk about NDA Alliance. Doesn't it sound funny? How many of them? And see, it's so simple.
Sir,
We
you
are
also, sir,
committed.
even this alliance, even this photograph has a lot of people, including H.D. Kumaraswamy, who during the Karnataka
Yeah, but
campaign
nobody
you called
fought.
corrupt.
See, nobody
You have
fought as to
Praful
who should
Patel
be in the front
representing
row and
NCP Ajit
second
Pawar,
row, Rajdeep.
whose leader you all called
Rajdeep,
corrupt. You have Chirag
no,
Paswan
Rajdeep,
there,
that,
whose
see,
luggage
that
was thrown out
photograph,
from his house 3 years ago. Let's not say
See.
that you all have observed. I mean, I want it very clear from you, Mr. Reddy. Do you think there should be a common minimum program or not?
See, that is for our leaders to decide, Rajdeep. You can't ask a party spokesperson as to what's going on in Chandrababu night. Yes, we will let you know. Give us a couple of days. We've just come into the government and things are just staying. They have to sit down, discuss and talk. It's not just you go off the air and off record and, say, we're going to do this, we're going to... See, we are allies. Allies have to discuss. Give us a day or two.
Okay, fair enough. And then that's a good point. We cannot expect governments to run on 24/7 news cycles. But a final word, Satya Prakash Mishra.
Ji.
Common minimum program hona chahiye. The very minimum. The fact is, when you have a coalition government, you have different perspectives on certain issues, surely. Nitish Kumar has made his views very clear on how he sees secular politics. He's pushed the caste census. He actually pushed the caste census in Bihar. The BJP didn't seem to be supporting it, at least not nationally. I want to ask you, therefore, should there be a common minimum program? Can we expect one?
Rajdeep ji, we should wait much more from today. Today we elected all partners of India, NDA, elected Narendra Modi as a leader unanimously.
Right.
So we should wait for such kind of thing. Regarding, we have certain disagreement in history from BJP, but we never blackmailed BJP on those platforms. It is our long-standing demand that Bihar should be given a special status, but we have never blackmailed the government on the basis of our demand. One thing is very clear, whatever the policies of this government will tomorrow rolled out, definitely those will be very democratic and from the betterment of India.
Okay.
There shall be accommodation of everyone's aspiration. Definitely this government impression will be changing from the previous government. That we are sure.
Okay, let's leave it there. The great thing about this election is that they have sent given a notice to all political parties in different ways. They've told each and every of these political parties, perhaps, that they want India to be a bit of a coalition. This is a great coalition, a diverse country, and maybe whoever comes to power will need to respect this diversity when they govern India. To all my guests, thank you very much for joining me on the news today. Okay, let's turn from there to our newsmaker tonight. Lots of big winners yesterday. Among them, in what was one of the most hotly contested elections of 2024, was the senior Congress leader and now 4-time Thiruvananthapuram MP, Shashi Tharoor. For a long time yesterday, Mr. Tharoor was actually trailing his rival Rajiv Chandrasekhar of the BJP, eventually won by a narrow margin of just 16,000 votes. A day of dramatic twists wherein Mr. Chandrasekhar was leading eventually ended up with Shashi Tharoor winning the Thiruvananthapuram seat. So where does Mr. Tharoor and indeed the opposition go from here? That's the question I want to raise. Joining me now is Dr. Shashi Tharoor, the 4-time Thiruvananthapuram MP. Congratulations, Dr. Tharoor. You can finally afford a smile. I could see you were very nervous yesterday. It must have been a very difficult day because the margins kept going up and down with you and Rajiv Chandrasekhar. Can I get a smile? Are you happier today? You look tired.
Yes, very much so. I mean, the fact is that we never expected it to be quite that close. We very honestly thought that we had the election in the bag after voting on the 26th of April. But it was startling to see how much support the BJP candidates and the CPI candidates both garnered, so that in the end it was a close run thing. I managed to do it all right in the end, but right till the last few rounds of counting, it was touch and go. So a real cliffhanger.
What explains the fact that it was such a cliffhanger? This was seen as a seat that you've dominated for the last decade. Was it anti-incumbency? Was it that Shashi Tharoor, 3-time MP, found himself boxed in by Rajiv Chandrasekhar and the CPI's Ravindran on both sides?
Well, I mean, it's been a three-cornered fight every time, so that's not unusual. The CPI ran a more effective campaign, perhaps, this time than the previous time. But with the BJP, they had a very telling message, particularly in the city areas, because I also have a rural belt where I did very well, but in the city areas and with the sort of educated elites and the business community and so on, their message was very simple. If you vote for our man, you get a minister who can deliver all sorts of goodies for you. You vote for that guy, he's going to be in the opposition. What can he do for you? We're winning anyway. And that overall message, particularly early in the election, we were only in the second phase, meant that a lot of people were seduced by the idea that they could easily abandon me and get somebody who would be more effective in delivering results from the government. Ironically, as the election wore on, the potency of that argument would have worn off because it became increasingly clear that the BJP wasn't doing that well nationwide. But in the first and second phase, people still thought that the BJP's victory was inevitable, and that certainly played into the hands of my opponent's campaign in the city areas.
You know, you're not really mentioning your opponent, but the fact is you versus Rajiv Chandrasekhar was seen as the big fight in this election, one of the big fights, and it got bitter at times, lots of personal attacks, even threats of defamation suits about the kind of attacks you made against each other.
They were filed by him. I have not made any personal attacks. I haven't filed anything, but personally, I think it need not have been so unnecessarily bitter.
You know, but the BJP, Dr. Tharoor, has won its first seat in Kerala in this election. Do you see the BJP, though, as a party on the rise in Kerala? Suresh Gopi winning from Thrissur, is that a warning signal to both you and the left that have dominated Kerala for years?
It could be, but a very different BJP from the one that they've been trying to sell so far. Suresh Gopi, who is somebody I've known for a long time and is a friend of mine, appealed, number one, to the minorities. He presented himself as a secular candidate, not as a card-carrying BJP sort of communal card-playing fire breather. Secondly, he had a certain personal celebrity status that gave him a personal vote over and above the core BJP vote. These two factors, I think, in addition to whatever effective work the BJP did through its campaigning and its machinery and so on, helped him win. That didn't apply to any other BJP candidate. And therefore, part of the lessons the BJP may have to learn from the victory of Suresh Gopi and the defeat of others is that the only way the BJP can find acceptance in Kerala is by being different from the kind of BJP we're used to seeing across northern India. It cannot be a BJP that goes around bashing minorities. In Kerala, only 53% of the population is Hindu, 47% are so-called minorities, and they're minorities without a minority complex. They don't have a sense of themselves as minorities. They feel they are equal stakeholders in Kerala, and that's what's so special about our state. Nobody has this issue of any sort of chip on the shoulder, either about being majority or minority. So the BJP has to recalibrate its message. Do not forget that despite having won that one seat and having come reasonably close in one more seat, namely mine, nonetheless, the BJP has just gone from being a 13% party in Kerala to being a 16% party in Kerala. So they have a long way to go before they can be a potent statewide force unless they rethink the entire basis of their appeal. The communal part has severe limitations in Kerala.
May I turn, though, Dr. Tharoor, to the bigger picture? You know, the bigger picture of the 2024 election and how this election has panned out. The Congress did better than what many people might have expected or suspected. But the fact is, the BJP under Prime Minister Modi is set to form the next government. So do you see this as a glass half full? And at the end of the day, you couldn't defeat Prime Minister Modi. It's a glass half empty.
Half full, because don't forget that what's happened is that the BJP has, I think, been chastened by this result. The BJP no longer has a majority. It can't act according to its whims and fancies. It has to take into consideration the views of others. Don't forget, Mr. Modi notoriously imposed demonetization without even consulting his cabinet, even the finance minister. He was able to impose the COVID lockdown at a few hours' notice without telling anybody first, including the cabinet and state chief ministers. Those days will now mercifully be over. He will have to consult others because he doesn't have a majority by himself. And in fact, he'll need to consult enough people that he has a majority at the end of any decision he takes. And that means a lot of parties will be key players in his government, even if he does form the government.
But if I may say so, there's still this huge gap between the Congress and the BJP. In that sense, is the Congress clutching at straws? Yes, you managed to bring the BJP down below 272, but surely that's not good enough for you. And, how are you going to make yourself more competitive?
No, because we're talking about a contest between two alliances. It's not the BJP alone we're fighting the NDA, and the NDA is what's forming the government, because BJP alone can't form the government. We, on the other hand, have had allies who've done very well. And so you have a very robust opposition gearing up to take on the BJP. Don't forget that, our allies are strong players in their own right. We have 3 regional parties that have done better than anyone could have expected. Akhilesh Yadav and the Samajwadi Party with 37 seats in the Lok Sabha. Mamata Banerjee claiming 29 for the Trinamool in Bengal at a time when the pundits were prophesying that she would go down from where she was. She went up. And the DMK winning every single seat it contested. So you're looking at a situation where we have strong, formidable forces in control of their parties in their states and representing a strong section of public opinion in 3 corners of the country. We haven't done badly in Maharashtra. There's a 4th corner of the country. So you're really looking at an opposition that commands and has demonstrated command of support in Northeast, West and South. And I don't think the BJP can just treat the parliament anymore as a notice board for their announcements and a rubber stamp for Mr. Modi's decisions. There will have to be more serious consultation and decision.
But the fact, Dr. Tharoor, is Mr. Modi is set to become the first Prime Minister since Jawaharlal Nehru to win 3 consecutive terms. And therefore, your original mission of trying to dislodge him or stop him from becoming the Prime Minister of the country has failed, some would say.
No, listen, as far as the Nehru comparison is concerned, Nehruji won 3 terms in his own right without needing any allies. That Mr. Modi has been unable to do. So there is certainly a break on that comparison right there, because the BJP under Mr. Modi won 2 elections just as Mr. Nehru did. But the 3rd election, it is only going to be in a position to form the government because of allies. And that is the significant difference Mr. Nehru never faced. Secondly, as far as the style of governance is concerned between the 2 individuals, there's an enormous difference. You have, on one hand, somebody building up the democratic institutions, practices and habits of this country. On the other hand, somebody whose rule has led internationally respected bodies to call us an electoral autocracy rather than a democracy anymore. That is, we elect our leaders and they behave like autocrats. That is the name we've been saddled with thanks to Mr. Modi's style of functioning. But and I must say that you've got a huge, huge difference between the 2 individuals you're trying to compare.
But tell me, what will be the difference between the opposition that we've seen so far in previous parliaments and will we see both a different opposition and a different Modi, you believe, in the next 5 years? Are we heading to a very different kind of politics in your view?
I certainly believe that because, number one, as I said, he'll have to consult much more within government. He'll have to consult much more within parliament. And my own suspicion, by the way, is that he'll have to consult more within his own party as well. Because it's one thing to be the invincible, irresistible Mr. Modi who wins a majority all by himself. It's quite another to be the humbled Mr. Modi who was not able to retain a majority and who therefore needs to earn the goodwill of everyone he has to work with, including within his own party. I think we're going to see a different kind of approach. And if we don't, I think we're going to see some political dramas in Delhi.
We've discussed Prime Minister Modi. What about Rahul Gandhi? Where does this election result leave Rahul Gandhi, according to you?
Immeasurably strengthened, in my view. I think he already showed in the course of this campaign that after the Bharat Jodo Yatra, he's a new man, that he's incredibly strong, confident, focused, and has a certain appeal to a large section of the public. Now that's been vindicated with the votes he's got in the 2 constituencies he has won. I think he is immeasurably strengthened from where he was just 5 years ago.
One final question and maybe a short answer, Dr. Tharoor. You're now a 4-time MP. Will you be seen as a contender, as some are suggesting, for Chief Minister for the Congress in Kerala in 2026? What's next for you? A book, Chief Ministership of Kerala, or maybe Parliamentary Party leader?
I think there's an important role to play, I hope, in providing or contributing to a robust opposition here in Delhi against the BJP government. State elections are at least 2 years away. what the party wants me to do between now and then. The party knows best. But I certainly expect to be doing more than justice to my role as representative of Thiruvananthapuram in Parliament. I think I am probably amongst the most experienced of all the Congress MPs, and that will give me, I'm sure, a certain responsibility to help steer some of the opposition efforts in Parliament. And I'm looking forward to doing that. We really have to stand up to the kind of governance that the BJP has tried to inflict on the nation, particularly in its last term.
I'm going to leave it there, Dr. Tharoor. We look forward to seeing you back in Parliament and look forward to seeing what role your party gives you in this 18th Lok Sabha. But for now, for joining me, and congratulations once again. Good to see the smile back on your face after the nervous anxiety you had for much of yesterday in that big battle for Thiruvananthapuram. Okay, we've just about done enough on the show tonight. I want to leave you, though, with an image. From India to the West, the global media has reacted to Prime Minister Modi's third term while also taunting the NDA for failing to reach or breach the 300 ceiling. Let's take a look at some of those headlines across the world that we are leaving you. Clearly, India and the Prime Minister making the headlines for the right and some would say for the wrong reasons. Thanks for watching. Stay well, stay safe. Good night. Shubh Ratri. Jai Hind. Namaskar.